Hello guys, my name is Zach here, and I'm here for the first episode of Around the NHL. Due to a lot of positive feedback on the first episode of Around the CHL, and a lot of people who wanted me to bring this to the NHL, that's why I'm here. I apologize if the video looks a little bit laggy. I don't know what's going on. And who is this?
Who's this? This
Yeah.
is Figs 42.
Alright, well, I wasn't expecting him to show up, but he finally did. So Figs, first off, due to a
I can't
recommendation
really hear
from...
you right now.
Hello?
Yeah, hang on. Say something?
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so you finally made it then, right?
Yep.
Alright. So do you have did you come prepared with some, things that you might need for the episode?
What do you mean?
Like, who's hot, who's not, and Game of the Week?
What?
Did you come prepared with a who's hot, who's not in Game of the Week?
Oh, no, not really. I mean, I'm hot. I know that. I know Minnesota Wild is hot. That's about it.
Alright, so
I would have to check the schedule over again, but I can't do that right now.
Alright, well, this is kind of unexpected, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go on with the show, and then you can just apply some comments as you want. So due to a recommendation from, let's see here, what's his name? Due to a recommendation from Playmaker, we're gonna go over the top 3 scorers currently right now. At number 1, we have Briere. He won Player of the Week for the first week and for the 5th week, and currently he has 99 points with, hold on, let me see here. He has 99 points with 55 goals and 56 assists, so he can score goals and he can also dish the puck.
Well, that's what happens when you pound third lines for an entire season, but that's none of my business.
Okay, so is that a chirp I hear?
Is that a chirp? No, it's more like facts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, at number 2, we have, hold on, my computer's going really slow right now, I apologize for that. And I'm still waiting. Okay, at number 2, we have X Hayes. And
my response will be the same exact thing as Briere, so you could might as well just skip that one.
Well, I'm not going to skip it for the sake of, I have to. It's part of the.
They're
the top 3 scorers, so.
They're butt buddies who pound lines together, so you might as well just put them in the same category.
Okay, so he has 106 points, 49 goals, and 57 assists. So it looks like that one line is just doing a lot of damage, and they may play third lines. I don't.
How's their team doing?
How is their team doing?
Because I'm pretty sure that's all that really matters, right? At the end of the day.
I have it right here. Well, no. Well, there are second from bottom of their division. So.
Okay. No, that's what I guess. A combined.
All right. So a little bit of chirping from Figs. We got XO Playmaker OX. He's the guy who suggested this. I wonder why. Not really, because he is the 3rd top scorer in the league right now, and he has 99 points, 50 goals, and 49 assists. So, what are your thoughts on this guy?
I'm sorry, who is that? Who's 3rd?
Playmaker.
Playmaker? Playmaker is legitimately one of the best forwards in the game, but at the same time, records for teams is what matters most. And
right.
it's known that he's not one to play on winning teams very often. But that's also not his fault with a $9 million contract.
You talk about the division standings. He plays for the Boston Bruins, which currently is the bottom of the division, and that brings me to my second topic. We're going to talk about the divisions. And Figs, you can give your comments on these teams because obviously you play in the NHL and I don't. So in the first division, we have the Ottawa Senators with 95 points, and behind them the Montreal, Detroit, Tampa, Buffalo, Toronto, and Florida and Boston. Which one of these teams stands out to you?
Probably Ottawa. Ottawa has the most complete, first line. You're welcome, Devin, for Ward. I gift drafted you him week 1 of the season, and Ward is probably one of the best playmaking centers in the game. So you're welcome for that. But the East, to me, that division is, a little sketchy. Tampa's always good because of Nuge and main event, but they're seems like they're not gonna have too much success in the playoffs.
Right, I remember that was your team last season, and I think you guys did pretty good last season. Is that correct?
For the first few weeks, and then we fell off. Yeah, we didn't. We happened to miss the playoffs, but that's a topic for another day.
Okay, now we move into the next division with Minnesota Wild with 97, and 2 points behind them is Winnipeg Jets, Chicago behind them, Dallas, Colorado, St. Louis, and Nashville. What do you think of these two teams, Minnesota and Winnipeg? They're doing a lot of damage in their division in the NHL.
What do I think of Minnesota? What do you mean? What do I think about my team? That's what you're.
And Winnipeg. And Winnipeg.
Well, Winnipeg has a lot of veterans, I would say. They have more skill guys compared to Minnesota, but I think the team that me and Sean put together in Minnesota is more well-rounded and can definitely make some noise. Can definitely make some noise come playoff time. That's for sure.
I figured you would say that since you're the owner of the team, but I mean, you guys show it on paper, so it's not hard to argue.
Well, when you got a player like me who's on the first line and I go 1-0-2 for the week, yet my team manages to go 7-0-2, that's a pretty big statement. When my second and third line can produce that well while we're facing first and second lines. Hence, playmaker when he played our third line.
Well, obviously, sometimes if you're gonna try to do that thing where you just go for the third lines, obviously you're gonna get points. But in the end, it doesn't really matter if you're not showing up and you're not winning games and just getting those points that you need. And in our next division, we have New Jersey Devils with 106 points, New York Islanders 96, Pittsburgh with 92, Washington with 92 points, Carolina with 92 points, and then Philadelphia, New York, and Columbus. So that's like 5 teams that are probably could be considered some of the top teams in the league right now. What is your take on that?
New Jersey is a well-balanced team. I would compare New Jersey to my team. I don't think they really have a real first line, but they do have a very balanced team. Pittsburgh, well, of course you have Frank, a.k.a. Get Pissed On, and Panda leading the way. That should always be a fun implosion come playoff time. But outside of those two teams, I don't see much.
All right. So in the next division, we have, if my computer will ever load, the Edmonton Oilers on top with 101 points, and then San Jose, Arizona, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Vancouver, and Calgary. I'm sorry if you're not mentioning any of the lower teams' points because at the moment we're just talking about the top teams. So what do you think of Edmonton right now?
They are probably the favorite in the West next to Minnesota. Oh, and Winnipeg. It's going to be a very interesting Western Conference, I would say. It all depends on matchups, who gets who in the first round. Whoever has to face Arizona in the first round is going to have a lot of trouble because of Lan and Mitz. So it all depends on who gets who. But outside Winnipeg, Minnesota, and Edmonton, to me, are basically neck and neck. We can all make it to the finals, or one of us can lose in the first round.
All right. So this is the last week of the regular season for the NHL. Next week is going to be playoffs. I myself am looking forward to that. I'm going to watch a lot of the streams. And that brings me to my who's hot and who's not. Since it's Friday night and due to scheduling I have to do the NHL on Friday, I only have the stats from week 7. And so that's what I'm going off of. My who's hot is MLACS 13 in Roman numerals. He went 3-0 on the week, left wing. Do you know anything about him?
Who was that?
MLACS 13 from
On New Jersey?
Yeah.
No. I mean, like I said, that balanced New Jersey. I don't know who half these people are. Pretty sure he was on Florida last year, which won the cup. So you got basically all of New Jersey is Florida from last year, in my opinion. So they look pretty good.
Well, they're showing it on paper. They're top of their division with over 100 points. And my who's not is SVG 11. He went 0-3-0, playing right wing. And his team is the last in their division right now. So obviously that shows the way he's performed. So right now, I'm going to go to my game of the week for week 8. It's Tuesday, December 16th at 10 p.m. Eastern. I know Fig's going to like this. Is Minnesota versus the Winnipeg Jets. And if you look at the division right now, Winnipeg is 2 points behind Minnesota. So this could really affect the playoff seedings and everything. So what is your take on this game and how do you think your team will perform?
I would have to look at matchups. I know I'm not in that game on Tuesday. Well, I probably shouldn't have given that away. I'm sure they'll throw their first line to my third line now. But
well, on head-to-head, it looks good. It looks like a really close. I don't know what the lines were like, but
one game is one game. To me, we have 10 games this week. If we go 9-1 or 9-0-1, we'll win our division. We could even win the West. I'm not worried about one game. I'm
gonna correct myself. This week is week 9. I apologize for that. Last week was week 8. So I'm just gonna. Oh, what were you saying?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. So in the head-to-head, week 1, Winnipeg won 5-0. Week 3 they won 1-0, and then week 5, I'm sorry, I apologize. Winnipeg won 5-0 the first week. Week 3, Minnesota won 1-0. Week 5, Winnipeg won 5-1, and week 7, Winnipeg won 4-1. I don't know any of the lines that were in that game, but it's really hard to tell because Minnesota isn't playing that good, and so has Winnipeg. I feel like this is going to be a really good match. If any of you guys are streaming it, please post your stream in the comments so we can all enjoy this wonderful game. Do you have any comments on this?
It'll be a great game, but it won't decide the division, that's for sure. There's 10 games. That game won't decide anything, but it will help us. If we do pull it out, it'll help us pad our lead a little bit, but I'm not worried about it too much. We have 9 other games next week to worry about as well.
All right, thanks a lot. I don't know what else to talk about. Do you have any last comments for the episode?
Only to Briere, I would like to, say let's simmer down on the third lines a little bit next week. This way you don't steal my rocket from me, since I've had since day one, and I know what you're doing, and you're gonna pound 4 third lines next week and try and steal it from me. But other than that, that's about it.
All right, thanks, man. That's gonna wrap up our show. If you want to be on the show next week, you can. I will hit you up. If any of you guys want to be on the show next week, I will just message me on Xbox or on League Gaming. My account there is ItsZachHere. And shout out to all the media team for letting me do this. Shout out the administrators for making this league a really good place. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Around the AHL at 6:30 Eastern Time. I know this was kind of late, but it's whatever. So for Figs 10 and the entire media team, it's been ItsZachHere, and I'm out. Peace.
Later.